And welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another roster review. This is Utini Bikini. Utini! From the Alliance Lambda. The Alliance Lambda, what is happening, you guys? Utini has been here since the beginning of the game, so he's been in for like a year and a half. However, he does spend about $5 a week or about $25 or $30 a month, so he's a dolphin. I wouldn't call him a whale by any stretch of an imagination. That's a little bit of an investment monthly, but nothing like what some people put into the game. So he's got a few characters leveled up pretty good, but he also has a lot in his inventory that could take work. So I asked Utini what he wants. He said he wants to know about his heroic AAT teams, arena, and ships. So we're going to start right in with arena. Pretty simple. Your arena team looks great. I think you just need a little more bite to get deeper in arena to get into the top 10. And so I would recommend taking out the TIE Fighter pilot for Boba Fett, and you could even Zeta Boba Fett, his unique, because it'll make him more durable and longer lasting. Every time he kills someone, he's going to go ahead and get full protection regeneration. And I would take your TIE Fighter pilot mods, which are extremely fast mods you have on him, and I would move those over to Boba Fett. And with a Darth Vader lead with all of the debuff dots not going anywhere because of the Zeta that you have on him, Boba Fett just makes complete sense because it's going to guarantee Boba Fett maxes out his insta-kill shot execute. So that's my two thoughts on arena. That's really what I would do. Boba Fett for TIE Fighter pilot and swap mods on those characters. So let's go ahead and go into the heroic AAT for phase 1, because you don't have Kylo Ren all maxed out and leveled out and stuff. I would recommend Jedi. And for your Jedi team, I would say, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace and Jedi Knight Anakin are your top 3. I would go ahead and use those 3. And then I would also add Ayla and Ahsoka. You have Ayla and Ahsoka, and so I would put Ayla in the lead so they are more tenacious and resist more of the debuffs. And then I would have Jedi Knight Anakin with Ahsoka, and like I said, finish it off with Qui-Gon and Mace Windu, both of them debuff or take off you know, the taunts and stuff, so they would be a great addition. Obviously, you're going to need to continue to finish your Ayla, your Ahsoka, your Jedi Knight Anakin if you're going to want to apply more damage on phase 1. But as far as the makeup, the physical makeup of the team, for you, for phase 1, Ayla lead, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Mace is who I would use. For phase 2, I would actually use your clones. You're developing and working on your clones, so that's excellent. And you've Zeta'd your Cody, I believe. Yep, you got your leadership ability Zeta'd. So you've got a good phase 2 team, the clones. You could even put in the clones into phase 4 if you want, and do Princess Leia and do the, you know, Princess Zodi, as they're calling it. But you could use the clones for phase 2 as well. So you could use them for phase 2 or 4, but if you're just going to use these 5, use them in phase 2. You're going to get a lot of damage. This is going to be where you get the majority of the damage that you help the team out with, will be your clones phase 2. I would really recommend, if you're going to buy anything with your money, real money, you're going to buy the crystals, and you're going to use those crystals for minimalistic refreshes. Use the crystals that you earn really for the refreshes if you can, and then use what you're buying, the crystals that you're buying, use them for gear specifically to get these guys past gear 9, 10, and 11. But get these guys at least to gear 10. They'll do far better eventually at some point gear 11, but definitely want to continue to finish developing, especially Cody, Echo, and Rex. Get them up to gear 10. So there's your phase 2. Let's move to phase 3. Pretty simple for phase 3. You don't have your Ewoks going on, so what I'd recommend is just an Empire team. Just do Darth Vader lead since he's got the Zeta, and then you can use your 2 tanks, Royal Guard and Shore, to protect them, Emperor Palpatine and TIE Fighter pilot. They're plenty fine in P3. You're not going to have any like 2 million damage or anything, but you'll definitely get a few 100,000 in P3, which is more than enough to put your part in for the team. And let's go ahead and go to phase 4. And for you, phase 4, I would do Rebels. I would really, because you have the Chase combo, that's the Baze and Chirrut combo, and you have Wigs, which is the Biggs Wedge combo. I would recommend the Wigs Chase combo. You know, Chirrut and Baze will keep you alive throughout the whole thing. to the end, and Wiggs is going to apply a lot of damage. You'll probably get a couple of million damage pretty easily with just those 4, and then you can use either Princess Leia or Admiral Akbar. Admiral Akbar lead would actually be really fun, or you could do a Wiggs lead with Admiral Akbar on the side. The reason why Admiral Akbar is fun too is he cleanses, which is nice to have another cleanser to make sure that when the bomber comes overhead that you don't lose anybody. The other thing is when he cleanses, he actually heals, so you get a second healer on the Rebels team just to guarantee you get through that. And you know, Admiral Akbar on his basic hits for like 10k. So on this team, really, you've got everybody pretty high. I would still continue to try and gear up Admiral Akbar a little bit more, and then Chirrut, you're gonna, if to use him, you're gonna have to finish farming him. You need you know, another 185 shards or whatever you need. You need whatever it takes to get to 6-star and then 7-star before you can use him in the heroic. You could use your rebels in P2 and then put your clones in P4. Again, I already said that, but that's just a thought. And then the last for Rancor, you're going to be using your Empire team, and you're going to use it with a Darth Vader lead, and then TIE Fighter will put tenacity down, Royal Guard can put your speed down, as well as turn meter reduction. Emperor Palpatine can do a lot of damage, and then you can throw, you know, a Sith in here, any Sith you'd like into this team for Rancor, so you have turn meter reduction. Now, as far as farms, people that I feel like you should be farming on the side, these are characters you really should be working on. B2, you really need to finish B2. He's a phenomenal character, and it looks like you've got him 7-starred, but you only have him at gear 8. So I would definitely get your B2 higher gear, because he's an awesome tank. I know he doesn't taunt, but man, I tell you what, especially in the evasion meta, he is phenomenal. The next is going to be Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, you have 7 stars, and you have level 60 at gear 7. So you definitely want to finish farming up the gear on Kylo Ren. The next I'd recommend is Sunfac. He is, you've got him over to the right at gear 8. I would continue to finish getting him geared up. So these are characters I'd recommend you throw kind of in your favorites section, so you know who you're farming up. I know you got a couple of Jedi you need to get higher in gear. You got a couple clones you need to get higher in gear, and maybe a couple Empire you need to get higher. But as far as like side projects that are not specific to anything that you should be working on, B2, Kylo Ren, Sunfac. The next is Barriss Offee. You've got her 5-star gear 8. She is the best healer in the game, and her Zeta unique is phenomenal. Even after it got changed, it's still a phenomenal ability. I would continue to finish farming her up, and you can eventually put her in, once you get her 7-star, into your heroic AAT phase 1 team, and you can take Ayla Secura out of lead when you do that, because then she's going to naturally cleanse your team and keep them, you know, gaining life and stuff, so you won't need Ayla as the lead as much. So pretty cool there. And the next after Barriss is going to be Darth Maul for ships, and he's to the right, 2 to the right of Barriss Offee. Darth Maul, you've got him 7-star, gear 8. You want to continue to gear him up, so that way you can use him for ships and arena. And then Darth Nihilus is the next. He's the one that looks like you've probably got the least amount of work in comparison to the others that I've told you about. Darth Nihilus in the middle right there, you got him 3-star, gear 6. I would get him up. He is good on any team composition. He's one of the Sith that you can just really plug into any team, and he does phenomenal. So make him a side project for gearing. And the last, possibly, you can or you can choose to do this or not, but the last would be your, to the right, your Sith Assassin. You have 3-star, gear 7. If you're going to build a Sith team, then I would recommend Sith Assassin. So in review, B2, Kylo Ren, Sunfac, Barriss, Darth Maul, and Darth Nihilus. And if you're going to do a Sith team, Sith Assassin. Those are my suggestions for characters. Now let's go ahead and move into ships. All right, for the fleet arena, I see you've got Admiral Akbar. You have the TIE Advanced, the TIE Fighter, Slave 1, Biggs. All of those are awesome. I do know you have the other First Order TIE fighter that's in there, probably for some more turn lock and some damage. I would actually recommend, if you want to get a little higher in fleet rank, to switch out the First Order TIE pilot to the Sunfac ship. And the reason for that is you've got a lot of attackers, but only one tank. And you know, you really need a couple of tanks, because if they have even a single dispeller, they're going to get right through your tank and just destroy all of your attacking ships pretty easily. Boba Fett goes down fast, the TIE Advanced goes down fast, so you need to protect them a little more. So I would recommend putting Sunfac in for the First Order TIE pilot. And then for your backup lineup, I would probably recommend Jedi Consular, and then Wedge, and then that First Order TIE pilot that you're using, or you could throw the Umbaran in on your backup. But Jedi Consular to come in, he's going to call assists, which is going to help with turn lock. He's going to put up protection. He hits pretty hard, and then Wedge comes in and does tons of damage. He'll be a great second backup, and then either the Umbaran or the First Order TIE pilot to do lots of damage to the other ones. As far as farming ships go, you've got a lot of the ships, and you're leveling them up, so that is really, really good. You've done really well farming for ships. There's a side project, 2 side projects I'd really like you to do, and that is continue trying to farm Maul's ship, because I see you don't have Darth Maul's ship, and you do have Darth Maul 7-star. His ship's one of the best in the game. It'd really help your game out a lot in ships to be able to have Darth Maul in here. And then the other is Rex's ship. I don't see Rex's ship very high. I see you have him gear 8 and 4-star, and so I would recommend you know, getting Rex's ship up. By the way, once you get Rex's ship up, you've got clones, so because you have clones, you can do all the clone ships, all the resistance ships, and you could put Mace in as your lead. He's actually stronger. Mace is stronger than Admiral Akbar is. Now, I know that you are using Admiral Akbar in your lineup, but like I said, if you could get all your clones up for Phase 2 of Heroic, you could get all of their ships up pretty easily, except for Rex. Rex is a grind on his ship. But then you could switch from him to Mace, and having a Republic fleet's pretty awesome. It's fun stuff. But for now, Admiral Akbar, TIE Advanced, the TIE Fighter, Slave 1, Sunfac, Biggs, and then put Jedi Consular, Wedge, and the Umbaran or the First Order TIE Pilot in the backup. And then as far as farming, just farm Maul's ship, Rex's ship, and then as one other side project possibility, just like Sith Assassin was a maybe, you could also possibly put Poe Dameron in as a maybe. You've got his ship and him. You've got him gear 8 and the ship at 4 stars. It is one of the hardest hitting ships in the game, and he can kind of take care of himself. Pretty awesome ship. So that's what I think of that. Your arena looks phenomenal. Your ships look great. You're doing a wonderful job, Utini. I have about 50 plus of these roster reviews left to do, but remember, over half of my video content are not roster reviews. They are regular, traditional Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.